you, the Novel Stitcher. It is Friday, December 30th, and this is Flosstube number 9. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining. I hope you will like my stitching and what I'm reading, and if you do like the content you see here today, that you will consider liking this video, commenting on it, and subscribing. For those who are subscribers and are returning, thank you so much for subscribing and being here with me again and joining in for another Flosstube. Lots of exciting things to share today, but first I hope you all had a wonderful past 2 weeks, and if you celebrate, a wonderful Christmas. I had a really nice Christmas with Alex and then with my family, just quiet, relaxing, just being together. So it was really nice. Alex got me earrings that look like my cat Scout, so that's exciting, and a cross stitch pattern, which I will share with you all later. And it was just really good to be with family and to have a relaxing time. This week's been pretty quiet too, not too crazy at work or anything, so that's been really good. And tomorrow, again, just another relaxing day. Alex and I will probably watch a movie or some TV, eat some good food, and just hang out. Nothing crazy for New Year's Eve for us. Not really into going out to the bars or parties or anything like that. So we'll just have a quiet night in. And then we'll kick off 2023, which is crazy to think that we are entering into a new year. But a new year means new stitching plans, so that's really exciting. I hope you all have a wonderful New Year's Eve. If you're doing anything fun, let me know, or if you're stitching anything fun, let me know. And let's dive into the stitching. So today what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about a stitch along that I want to do. This will be my first SAL. I'm going to announce the giveaway from my last video. I'm going to talk about tomorrow and some New Year's Eve plans for stitching and a new start. I have a couple new starts, but I'll have a new start tomorrow too. And then kind of my 2023 plans. I want to do WIPGO, kind of my own version of WIPGO, because I have a good amount of WIPs, but not a ton. And there's a lot of projects I have started in the past couple of weeks or want to start. So I'm going to go through my WIPGO board and all the possibilities of what I could stitch this year, looking at all of the WIPs I have and a lot of the patterns I have too. I don't have an overwhelming amount of patterns, so I can kind of do a pattern parade without making this video super duper long, but it could be a slightly longer one. So grab a coffee, grab some tea or a notebook if you want to jot down some of these great patterns, and let's dive in. So the first thing I want to discuss is my SAL. So in my last couple of videos, I had mentioned wanting to stitch Berry Patch by Hello from Liz Matthews. This is such a cute one. I absolutely love it. And so I wanted to do a SAL where everybody could join in and stitch together. Now, I didn't want to be too, I didn't want to necessarily do just this pattern for the SAL, because in case you don't have it and you're trying to stitch your stash this year or next year, or maybe this isn't like your kind of style of pattern, I thought instead, whoever wants to stitch Berry Patch should stitch it with me, but we would make it just a bunny SAL. So you can stitch any pattern with a bunny in it, be it Berry Patch or be it something different, even if it's a sampler with a teeny little bunny somewhere in the mix, any kind of pattern that has a little bunny in it, and it would be called the Best Bunnies, like Best Buddies, because we're all buddies, right? Best Bunny SAL. So I'll put that down here, and let me know if you're interested in joining. I thought we would all start stitching the last weekend in January. I think it's the 28th, 29th. I think that gives everyone, including me, time to gather all their supplies and pick their pattern and get ready. And then I should have a video that weekend, because I'm going to do them bi-weekly again. So that would be a weekend I would film. So I'll probably start a little bit early just to get a few stitches in and show off my start for Berry Patch. And so I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do the called for DMC, and I'm actually going to do the called for fabric as well. I got a little Christmas money, so I do have a little bit more stitching stash for the year to come in, and then that'll probably be it for me for a couple months. But this is on 36 count Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim. So I ordered that to stitch on, and I'm excited for that to come in and to get started, and I hope you will all join me. And once we all kind of kick off and get started and start stitching, please use the hashtag on Instagram, share what you're stitching. Feel free to DM me or email me if you want me to showcase your stitching on my channel. I'm happy to show off what everybody's working on, especially If you're doing something different from Berry Patch, though, of course, if you're doing Berry Patch, you can also send me some photos of your progress and share that on here. So it's not just me showing my stitching, but we can all kind of share what we're doing and join in this together. So let me know if you're interested. Last weekend in January, Best Bunny SAL. So I'm excited to do my first SAL. And that's the only rules, is stitch something with a bunny is the only rule. You don't even have to start the 28th. You can start in February. If you want to wait, you can start earlier. No rules and no like finish date. You know, we're all stitching possibly the same thing or possibly something different. So it might take us, depending on the size of the pattern, a shorter or longer time. I'm hoping to stitch this by Easter. Easter is April 8th or 9th, so we'll see. I just wanted, you know, some sort of date to anchor to for myself for finishing it. I don't know if I will, but that's what I decided. But you can, no date that you have to finish yours by, no date that you really have to start it by. Again, just join in when and however you're able. So that will be my first SAL. So I'm excited. Let me know if you're going to join in. Let me know if that sounds like something you would be interested in doing and be able to do. So that's the SAL. And then the giveaway. So the giveaway, which I don't have with me, but it was the Mrs. Claus pattern and the fabric floss and needle minder from Fat Quarter Shop as part of their Stitch Quarterly. And the winner of the giveaway is Pat Hansen. So Pat Hansen, please email me at novelstitcher@gmail.com and let me know what your address is, and I will ship that off to you within the next week or two. So congratulations, Pat, and thank you everyone for entering and just for all your lovely comments on my last video. It means so much to me to hear from you and hear about what you're stitching and what you're reading and how your holidays are going. It's so much fun to meet all of you and start to get to know you better. And so the next thing we're going to talk about is New Year's. So a fair amount of floss tubers and stitchy people are doing a New Year's Eve 12 by 12. So this is kind of being hosted by Kia B on Instagram and Flosstube, and then Pam from Just Keep Stitching. And Steph is going to join in as well from Just Keep Stitching. And basically what they're doing is from 12 in the afternoon tomorrow to I think 11, which would equal 12 hours. Each hour, they are either gonna start something new or work on a WIP. So at noon, they'll do a start, 1, they'll do a start, 2, they'll start something, 3, or WIPs. And I think last year they did all new starts, and I think this year they're kind of having team starts and team WIPs, where you can either start something each hour or work on a WIP each hour, or kind of mix it up. So since Alex will be over, I'm not going to be stitching like all day. Gotta pay him some attention and hang out with him a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is do 6. And I'm going to do 2 new starts, which I will show you in a little bit, and then work on 4 WIPs. And so it's probably not stitch for full hours, but do like 6 things tomorrow when I have the time, either before Alex gets here, or, in the evening when we're watching TV, or however I decide to do it. So that is the plan there. So let me show you one of the starts. And then when I go through my like WIPGO WIPs things, I'll point out what else I might work on tomorrow. But one of the new starts is going to be Jardin Privé's Au Fil de Moi. I'm probably not pronouncing that super right. I took French in high school, but that doesn't mean I actually remember any French or say things right. But this is super cute. So it's all of the months of the year. And I'm gonna do each month in the month. So I will start on January tomorrow, and I will stitch January and on from there. So that should be that'll be like doable. I like the idea of like, I just have to do a little square each month. I have to remember to actually do it in the month, but then I will do that, and that'll be kind of my yearly one, and I'll finish it in December and have it ready to probably frame and hang up or put up next year. And I'm gonna do the call for DMC, and then I have just a generic wheat 28 count Lugana that I got at my LNS. Or no, this might be from Primrose Cottage Stitches. I think I ordered this from them from Etsy. either way, just a nice generic wheat color, which will go good with all the colors with this one. So I'm excited. I think that's really cute. I think what really drew me to it is the black and white cow for October for Scout. So that will be one of my starts tomorrow. And then, ooh, I forgot my finish. Okay, so that's New Year's Eve. I'm gonna show you my fully finished object, and then we're gonna get into more of my plans for next year. So be right back, I gotta grab that. Okay, I'm back. I can't believe I almost forgot to show this because it's so wonderful. Dee! Isn't it pretty? I think it came out so well. I'm so happy with it. It's not like perfectly framed. I'm still working on getting things to be even, but I think it's good enough. So this one is 5th Day of Christmas by Hello from Liz Matthews. It's part of a series of 12 Days of Christmas designs. I did it on a 28 count white Lugana using the called for colors and just framed it in this frame I found at Michael's. So I was thinking of doing a silver frame, so I was looking around for frames at Michael's and I saw this one and thought, you know what, that's perfect. I just think it's like a gold with a bit of a rusty look to it, so a little old-fashioned. I think it goes really well with the colors. And I just laced this on a board and stuck it in the frame. So pretty easy. And it has one of these, which is nice because I live in an apartment. And so I try not to put too many nails in the walls because then you gotta like cover them up and stuff when you move out. So I really like things that I can kind of set up. And so this has been sitting underneath my TV on a shelf on my TV stand. And I'll probably leave it up through maybe early February because it's as much winter as it is Christmas. And so it's one that I could leave up, you know, starting in early December through like early February. So I'm really happy with how that turned out, and yeah, that makes me happy. So that is my fully finished of this episode. And so now we're gonna go into WIPGO. Well, yeah. So WIPGO it's like bingo, and it was started by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. I think she's just Jessie Does Stuff on Instagram, and she is Jessie Marie Does Stuff on YouTube if you want to check this out, because she's the one who created WIPGO. And so it's basically you create a bingo board, and if you have enough WIPs, you can do whatever you want with this bingo board, but it was initially like if you have, there's 25 spaces on the bingo board, and if you have about 25 WIPs, it kind of is a way to play a game so that you can work on your WIPs and make sure that everything you've been stitching or all the WIPs you have get a little love throughout the year. And it's kind of whatever you want to make it. And I was watching her most recent video. She has a video where she really explains what WIPGO is and how you can do it. And I think over the years it's really become like, make this what you want, make it something that you can do, make it fit your lifestyle and your stitching style and all of that. And so for me, I don't have 25 WIPs. I think at this point I have like 9 or maybe like 10 or 11, and I'll probably add a couple, but not 25. And I think I probably won't let it go past like 12, maybe 15 at the most. But if it gets to 15, I have to have some things I'm working on that are near completion, because I think I'd be overwhelmed or would just never work on things if I had too many. But what I decided to do for WIPGO, to be able to do some starts, to work on some WIPs, to get to things that aren't in season, since there's like Halloween things I really want to stitch. But if I start stitching Halloween in September, when I'm feeling Halloweeny, I probably won't finish them in time for October. And I only have one Halloween finish. I only have 2 fall finishes. I have the Peace Christmas finish. I have no summer or spring because I just started stitching last year. I stitched some gifts for people, so that took up some of my time. So I really don't have a ton of finished things. And so I really want to make sure I'm working on different seasonal things throughout the year. And I think WIPGO will inspire me to pick up something Halloween, even if it's May, which otherwise maybe I wouldn't really feel inspired to pick it up or wouldn't even think to pick it up because I'm not in the Halloween spirit. And so my board And I'll go through these more closely. It looks kind of like this. Spring, Halloween, Christmas, and then I do have some of my bigger WIPs. So each square is either a season, a theme. I have one theme, which is books, and then an actual WIP that's a larger WIP that I'll want to work on. And then each square has either 8 hours, 4 hours, or 1 page. That's kind of how I broke it up. So like I can say like 6 was called for January, and it was called before I made my board, so I did this on purpose. I made slot 6, Winter Rose Manor. And that's gonna be worked on for 4 hours in January, which is not that much time, but I didn't wanna have 2 things for 8, or just, I didn't wanna overwhelm myself. I wanted to make them easy things to do each month, because who knows how busy each month will be. And I think January will be a very busy month, at least as far as work is concerned, so I might be kind of tired, and we'll see how much stitching I get done. So she called 6, Jessie called 6. So Winter Rose Manor for 4 hours in January, and then 10. So they call 2 numbers a month. So it was 6 and 10 is Spring Quaker, and I put that for 1 page. So do 1 page of the Spring Quaker pattern project, and their pages aren't too intricate, so that's definitely doable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through kind of each of the boxes I have on my WIPGO board. A lot of them repeat. Spring Quaker is on there 3 times, Winter Rose Manor is on there 3 times, and a lot of the seasons are on there 2 or 3 times. So let's see how I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do it in the order that I have it laid out here, but these are all on my board. So one of the categories on my board is Christmas, to work on Christmas stitching. So I have Christmas for 8 hours in slot number 3. Maybe I only put Christmas on here once. Nope, there's the other one. And another 8 hours in slot number 16. Christmas might just be on here twice, because Christmas delivery is on here as well as a WIP. So Christmas is on here twice. So here's what I might work on when it lands on Christmas. The first thing that I'm gonna work on, but not, oh, Christmas is on there 3 times. No, twice, sorry. One thing I'm gonna work on tomorrow, one of my WIPs, which really must be a finish tomorrow, is A Christmas at Silent Night. So you all have seen this one. I was hoping to get this done before Christmas, and it just didn't happen. This is Country Cottage Needleworks, and I'm not gonna take it out of the hoop, but it's almost done. And so the reason I didn't finish it in time is this top border with the snowflakes and the leaves up there. I had to frog the entire thing because I was off, and it wasn't gonna match up with the one at the bottom. It happens, we all have to frog sometimes, so that just set me behind and also made me kind of cranky with it, and I put it away for a couple days. But I'm determined, because it's almost done. All I need to do is that little border at the top to work on it a little tonight and to finish it tomorrow. So this one won't really be part of WIPGO because I want it done and maybe fully finished sometime in January. Because I don't want to, the one thing I don't want to do is, if I finish something, just put it away and not fully finish it and then have to finish it next year. I just feel like I won't. I will just be like, oh, I forgot this existed and now I don't know how I want to finish it. So that's one thing I want to do. And this is a 32 count Dove Lugana, using all of the called for DMC, except I use the Weeks Dye Works White Lightning for the church to make it look more like a rustic stone church. So that one's almost done. Also, these are just magnets, like normal magnets that my best friend got me for Christmas with cat stuff on them, and they stick together. There were 4 of them in the pack, and they were strong enough and they stick together enough to use them as a needle minder. So that's what I'm gonna do with them. Otherwise, I would put them on my fridge and hang photos, but I think it's cute to use them as a needle minder. So that is one Christmas. And then another Christmas one I can work on when Christmas comes up, or if I just feel like stitching Christmas. The other thing with WIPGO is I'm not gonna be like, these are the 2 things I have to work on this month and that's it. I can work on whatever I want around that. And if I don't stitch 4 hours of Winter Rose Manor this month, I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. Like, I'm not gonna take it that seriously. But it's fun, and I just wanna kind of try it, see how it works for me. This would be my first year fully stitching, first year planning, first year doing something, so I figured why not. So the second one that I might work on is Joy of Winter. This is a stitch along that I was doing on Instagram with a group of other stitchers. And I think this is I don't have all my notes with me. So this is either a 32 or a 28 count. Might be a 28 count, just like another wheat Lugana. I'm using the Call for DMC. I'll put what it's gonna look like finished here. It's a free pattern, and so that's another Christmas one. And I'm probably gonna work on that tomorrow. So that's another one I'm working on. And then I have Christmas Rules. So you will mostly my own colors I just picked from Stash, but they're similar to the colors that Primrose Cottage used in theirs. Theirs might be slightly darker, mine might be slightly brighter. So I can work on that one. I do want to work on that one because that's pretty easy stitching and that's a lot of fun. So those are all the Christmas WIPs that would go under just Christmas. And then I can continue with the WIPs because Christmas Delivery is its own category. So this is Christmas Delivery, and this is its own, this is Cottage Garden Samplings. I love this one, so I made this its own box on my WIPGO board. You can see it's number 7. And then I think this was on here 2 or 3 times. Twice, I guess. So number 7 and number 19, if those are called, would be Christmas Delivery. It would be funny if those were both called like in the same month, but then that's fine. I would just stitch that one for my WIPGO. So again, Christmas Delivery. I'm doing this on a 32 count Vintage Stormy Night. I'm using the Call for DMC, and that's all I have so far of this pretty big pattern, which is why I wanted it to be its own category to make sure it gets a lot of love. And if I feel like stitching this one when WIPGO lands on just Christmas, I can do that too. So that's Christmas Delivery. And then another one that will go under Christmas, even though it's more, no, well, this one has a category of its own. I could stitch it when Christmas is called, but Winter Rose Manor is on here 3 times on its own. Brenda Gervais. Everyone seems to have stitched or is stitching this one because how could you not? It's beautiful. And this is one of my new starts. Since you last saw me, this was the one I wanted to start between Christmas and New Year's, and so I did. I am using the called for, and I'm missing some of the called for, so I have more floss coming because I'm missing some of the colors. When I ordered this over the summer, I didn't realize I didn't have everything. So this uses a combination of Gentle Art, Weeks, and Classic Colorworks. So all fancy floss for this one. Mostly I've been doing DMC, but sometimes you gotta splurge on the fancier floss. I'm missing Roasted Marshmallow, which is the white, which is kind of why you'll see that some of this is going in different ways. So I started up in the corner. I am doing this on a 36 count new khaki that I got from 123 Stitch linen, and I'm using again all those called for fancy floss, and this is what I've done so far. I can't fill this in because I didn't realize when I ordered all the fancy floss that 123 Stitch must have been out of Roasted Marshmallow, and I was like, I'll just get it at a later date, and then I forgot. So that's coming in the mail to be able to do the white, and then one of the reds to do some of the other flowers I'm also missing. So those 2 colors are on their way, but just a little bitty start for that one. But I love this. It's so much fun to stitch. This is a really nice fabric to stitch on, and I just think it's gonna turn out so pretty, because how could it not? Everyone's turns out so pretty. This is my first Brenda Gervais too, so I'm really enjoying that one. And again, Winter Rose Manor is on, it's on my WIPGO board 3 times. So it's in slot 4 for 8 hours, 6 for 4 hours, and slot 23 to do 1 whole page. So we'll see what gets called. And then for Christmas, if I want to start something new throughout the year, I have a bunch of options. So I'll try not to make this video again endless as I go through all my patterns. So we'll go through them kind of fast, and I'll try to list them all in the description. This would be a lot to write, so I don't know. Maybe I'll do timestamps for like talking about Christmas patterns at this time. And that way you can go back and just use the timestamps instead of me having to list every single pattern. I think we're gonna do it that way. So one I could work on is Frosty Forest. Winter, but winter and Christmas go together for me. Country Cottage Needleworks. That could be a tiny one if I want a small start. It also kind of goes with Silent Night, so I could put them near each other. Then one I definitely want to start at some point, maybe the first time Christmas is called, would be Santa's Young Buck by Teresa Kogut. And this one I got during the Jingle Ball, but it is available now through most stitchy places and from Teresa's website. So I definitely want to start that. So pretty. And look at the little deer. It's just such a sweet one. So I can work on that. Deck the Halls. Another Teresa Kogut. This was her Jingle Ball exclusive. So Jingle Ball was that online virtual stitching event. And so because it was a Jingle Ball exclusive, you won't be able to get this one until next year. Around Christmas, I think, of next year. I don't know if I'll start this one this year, but it's an option and it's really pretty. Then if I want to do something else small, I do have the Little House Needleworks Christmas Petites. Winter Petites, sorry. I did this one with the deer for my mom. You might remember I made her an ornament for that one. So I might stitch this one with the little couple and the house because I don't have any ornaments that I've stitched for my tree. So I definitely think I'm gonna do one of these little ones and maybe I can get that done, you know, in one of the months when Christmas is called. Then another big one, so I might not start this year, is Palm Street Samplers Repeat the Sounding Joy. We'll see how much progress maybe I make on Winter Rose Manor and Christmas Delivery as to if I start this one. But I love that line from Joy to the World, and the big house, and it's just a funky one. So I like that. And then I have a more winter one. We'll see if I start this, though this could be used taking these little motifs and make some ornaments. So this is Winter Wing Digs by Blue Ribbon Designs. And it's all these little snowmen. You don't need to look at me here. Mittens and things. So this one is super sweet. There's a little penguin. So I thought I could take some of these little ones and make like a little ornament out of those. So that might be an option too for Christmas. And then I do have the 2022 Cross Stitch Magazine Christmas ornaments. So again, I don't really have any ornaments and I might want to stitch some ornaments for family and friends. So another easy option for when Christmas is called. And then the next category I have on my WIPGO board that's seasonal is fall. And so fall is on here for 8 hours and 5 hours. So it's on here twice. It is 8 and 20. So if those are called, I will stitch fall. So the one fall WIP that I have that I could work on that's really close to completion, which especially for fall is why if one of these WIPGO numbers for fall is called, I'll definitely be able to do a start because this is not going to take me long to finish. But it's Fall is in the Air. This was one of the Fat Quarter Shop Stitch Quarterly ones that came out this year. And I'm just doing this on an 18 count Platinum Aida using the called for DMC. I think it's the Aida it came with. This came with the kit. Sorry I didn't iron this one, but I've got a good amount done. The fox, most of the tree. And so I would just need to finish up the tree and then do the words and the little leaf down here. So this one shouldn't take long at all to finish. So when fall is called, I can get that one just done and fully finish it and have that out for fall. Oh, I have 2 fall WIPs. This one, I'm putting it under fall just because this is just how I'm doing the categories. It's a September Quaker. September is the first month of fall. It's my birthday month, so it counts for fall, I think. This is From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. It is a September Quaker. Alex got me that for my birthday, which is September 11th. And I changed it out to blues. So I'm just using DMC, but I'm using blue. She used purples and grays, and like light purples and grays, which is beautiful, but blue is my favorite color. And so that's how much I have done on this one. And this is a Vintage Country Mocha probably a 28 count. So I like that. I think that one's gonna come out real pretty. I'll probably work on that one. I might work on that one tomorrow. That might be one of my 4 WIPs that I work on tomorrow. Maybe that one, Winter Rose Manor, one of my book ones, Books and Cats, and then Spring Quaker might be what I work on tomorrow. So that's September Quaker, so I can work on that if fall gets cold or whenever I feel like it. And then some of the other fall ones, if I wanted to pick up something new, is, I love this one, Gobble by Bent Creek. How cute is that? I just love that. I think I have most of those colors, and you can just kind of use a general fabric. So I think I'll definitely probably stitch this one when fall gets cold. I have sunflowers, to me are fall and summer, so I just stuck this one in the fall. This Cricut collection, this is number 118, Sunflower Power. Sunflowers are my favorite. I would probably do this one up here with the little birds and the heart, so I might stitch that one. And then I have Autumn Minis by Waxing Moon Designs. You might remember I stitched this one this past fall, so I think I'll stitch the one with the crow for next year. And that's a really small one, so that'll be quick. So it's good to kind of have a good variety of smalls and larger ones I can finish up and fully finish, and then ones that might take a little more time. Apples make me think of fall, so this is Designs by Charlotte Apple Sampler, so maybe I'll work on that one. It's got apple pie, apple cobbler, applesauce, apple dumplings, apple a day. And then I have Heart in Hand Acorn Sampler for fall as well, if I want to work on that. Another pretty small, pretty easy one. This might have some specialty stitches in it, which is cool. I haven't really done many specialty stitches. So that's another option that could be pretty easy and fast if fall comes up on my WIPGO. And then I have just cross stitch for fall. This was this past year's just cross stitch. So I can do something out of that as well. I do like this one with the sunflower. I'm gonna have this huge pile over here. So that's fall. Then I have Halloween. Halloween is on here in slot 2 for 4 hours, slot 14 for 8 hours, and slot 21 for 4 hours. I really want to have more Halloween done. I love Halloween. So now that I'm thinking about it, I will say you all might remember I did 2 pumpkins bright last year, and my mom wants me to stitch that one for her. So I might have to pull that back out and stitch it again for one of these Halloween slots if it comes up before August. Her birthday's in August, and I think I would gift it to her for her birthday. So that one, we'll see if I actually work on it when Halloween is called, depending what month Halloween is called. That's the only thing about WIPGO is you don't know when the different numbers are going to be called. So like if they call number 2 in December, I'm stitching Halloween in December. But that's fine. Or I could switch them. I could do whatever I want. This is in pencil. I can erase things and move things around. But as much as I don't know if I want to stitch something again that I already stitched, if your mom asks you to do something for her, you say, yes, of course. So that might be her birthday gift, unless I can find another pattern to convince her to like better. But she really liked that one. I could just give her mine, but I think she wanted it framed. So we'll see about that. I'll check in with her in a few months and see what she wants. But if I get around to other Halloween things, I have Luminous Fiber Arts All Hallows Eve. I think this is just so cute. I love the cat and the pumpkins. It's like cute but kind of classy at the same time. So that's definitely high up on the list. But if Halloween gets called anytime soon, I might start with Teresa Cogut's Whimsy Witch's Angry House. She's so cute with her little cat and the little angry house because he has to stay behind while she gets to go trick-or-treating. And so I definitely want to stitch this one this year. So that's really cute. And I don't necessarily have all the floss or fabrics. I don't have a ton of stuff kitted up. So I'll just kit as I go. And then another one I could work on that I might not, but I could, is a Halloween Tree by Barbara Anna. That one's really funky. I like that one. And then I might stitch this one because it's tiny and it's so cute. 3 Jacks and Cat. Stitches by Ethel. That's so cute. So those are my Halloween options if Halloween gets called. And then I will go to another one that is a WIP that is itself on the board. So Spring Quaker. Spring Quaker is in spot 10 for 1 page, 25 for 4 hours, and 17 for 8 hours. So a good amount of time because I really want to work on this a lot. This one was my snow day start. That was an idea from Huga Stitcher to do a stitch along with Spring Quaker. Oh, let me show you the pattern. And it's this one by Lila's Studio. It's huge. It's going to take forever, but it's beautiful. It'll be the biggest thing I have stitched so far. Winter Rose Manor might be just as big, but it's not as intricate, especially like all of this detail. It's amazing what designers can do. So Spring Quaker gets its own few spots on the board, and I'm going to work on this one tomorrow too. And I'm going to forget what fabric this is, so you'll have to go to the description box. Oh, I don't remember the fabric. I'm so sorry. It's a linen. That's all I have done so far. I'm using the called for DMC. It's a linen. It's probably 32 or 36. And I got it from 123 Stitch. And I don't remember the name. So put this in the description box. But yeah, just a bitty start. But that one's fun to work on. And I definitely want to make a lot more progress on that. So that gets its own squares. And that'll be stitched on in January. And I will do a whole page because that is number 10 on the WIPGO board. And then I also have the last 2 seasons that I have on the board are summer, and I don't have any summer stitches. Nothing finished, nothing even started, no WIPs for summer per se, depending what you would categorize as a summer stitch. And summer is on here number 9 for 4 hours and 18 for 5 hours. It's on here just twice, which is fine. And so for summer, I have some pretty small ones, which is nice since I don't have anything done. So I have the Sunflower Sampler from Country Cottage Needleworks. Pretty summery to me with the sunflower. This one Alex picked out for my birthday. I'll probably do this one as my first summer stitch, whether summer gets called or the weather hits like 80, and then I'll just do it. Is Up, Up, and Away from Country Cottage Needleworks. I think this is so pretty. I need like a nice little very light blue fabric to stitch this on, but I think that's so cute. I love that one. And that should be a pretty quick stitch. And then I have the Drawn Thread, another one with sunflowers, so we'll see if I get to this one. This is just called Summer. I think things are a little bit blurry, so sorry if anything's out of focus. This one says, in a summer garden when days are sweet and slow, I'll lay aside my cares to sit and watch the flowers grow. So that one's cute. That one's pretty small. That one wouldn't take too long. And then you all saw this in one of my previous videos, Prairie Schooler, a Prairie Garden. Just because it's so many flowers, it says summer to me. I am not going to do this on the fabric you saw in that video, that very light, thin fabric. I'm just worried that I'm still working on making sure I don't carry threads and like keeping a clean back, which you don't necessarily have to do, but for fabric that I was going to use for this, it would look messy if you didn't keep a clean back. So I am going to see if I can use that fabric for some smaller pieces where it might not matter so much if I carry, and find a different fabric for this, because this is such a big one. I wouldn't want to use the wrong fabric and get frustrated and then have to start over or not finish it or not do it, because I really think it's just beautiful. And it's just one of those ones where you could, to me, I'm going to stitch this in the summer WIPGO spots, but you could leave this hanging up in your house, all year round. So I'll find a fabric for that, and that one will be worked on whenever summer is called or when the weather gets warmer. And then I have spring. I don't have anything for spring started yet. I'll show the one I'm definitely gonna start if spring gets called. And where is spring on my list? Spring is here. It's number 1 for 8 hours and number 15 for 5 hours. So a little bit of time for spring. So the first one I'm gonna work on is Fairy Garden. It is Garden Club Series number 11 by Blackbird. I haven't stitched any blackbirds yet, and I think this one's just so cute. And I love like the little house, like the little fairy house and all the pretty flowers. And I have some fabric possibilities for this one. So that's Fairy Garden. I definitely want to do Plum Street samplers. This is the day. This was a very popular one, I think. And I might not do the quote, I haven't decided, but I like that pink house. Everyone likes that pink house, and I love this basket or urn of flowers. It's so pretty. So that will be one of my spring ones. I'll definitely start that either when spring is called or when I'm feeling inspired to start it. I do think I have a fabric for that one, and I should have most of the DMC, so that one should be good to go. Another one I can do when spring is called, something simple and quick, is Scissor Tail Designs. And it's this one and then Mother's Day, and then you could pull out the little parts of this one if you wanted to. So that's an option there. And then this one is kind of springy, so I just threw it in the pile for that. Modern Folk Embroidery, A Free Bird. I think just the pinks and the blues and the greens make me think of springtime colors. So that's an option too. I know I have a lot of options, so when these numbers are called, like if spring is called for February, I'm gonna be like, which one do I start? I also have Berry Patch with the bunny, and that one could be a spring one. Oh, I have one more spring too, which again, I just chose spring because it says spring to me. All Joys for Thine, another blackbird. It says spring because there's flowers, bugs, trees are blooming, so that's another possible. I might actually, but I want to do Fairy Garden. See, this is gonna create issues. But the one thing I can do is when WIPGO numbers are called, if I'm being indecisive, you can decide for me, and I can ask you all what I should work on. And then the last category on my WIPGO board is books or Bookish. And so I do have one WIP that I've started. That's for books, and you've all probably seen this one. Has been a while. There's loose threads on it, and it's not ironed. It is Books and Cats. I actually worked on this one a little bit when I was at my parents' over Christmas. And so this one's got, I mean, it's decent progress. It shouldn't take me entirely too long here, so you can actually see what it'll look like finished. So there's quite a bit to go, but the words are going to stitch up really fast. And then like this is all blocked color. So the bookshelves are probably the most kind of intricate part of it. So, you know, when books are called Bookish, I'm going to work on this a little tomorrow too, I think, as part of 12 by 12, which for me is just 6. But that one. And then for Christmas, Alex got me this one, which is just so cute. So this is going to be my second start tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to start the Jardin Privé month by month one with the January. And then I'm going to start this Bookish one tomorrow, The Bookstore by Country Cottage. I think I want every single Country Cottage. If you've noticed here, I have quite a lot. They're just so cute. It's not too big. It is a little intricate. It might take a little bit of time, but it's really cute. So I'm going to start that tomorrow. I am missing the gold. There's some gold in the books inside the house. So I'll have to figure out what to do. Michael's did not have that color. It is gold metallic, 5282. So I'll have to figure out what to do there. But I have all the other colors and I have a fabric for that one. So that I'm going to start tomorrow. And then the last one of all of my patterns, I'm not showing any of my digital patterns. I do have a handful of digital, so I could maybe choose to do some of those, but I decided it would be easier to not show like literally everything, and I like holding up the physical pattern. So I do have some digital ones, and if I work on those, you'll see them when I start them, but there's not a ton. So I got this one a while ago. This is Fairy Tale Sampler, Elizabeth's Needlework Designs. I think I just saw it on 123 Stitch and I was like, I want that. So that's really cute. So that's like a book. Fairy tales are books, so that's like going to be under the book category. If I decide to do that one, it might take a while. But that's really cute. Let me know if you can recognize all the fairy tales, because I think I have most of them. There's no list inside this pattern of, and I wish she did have a list of what fairy tales are represented. You might be able to find it like on her website. This is a 2017 pattern, but we got like maybe the tortoise and the hare. We got the one with the bears and the porridge and the, I don't remember what it's called. You know what I mean? And then like Little Bo Peep and her sheep. And I don't know. What's the swan one? Something with the swan. Rumpelstiltskin, maybe. Or maybe he's Rumpelstiltskin and this is not Cinderella. Not Snow White. I'm failing you all. Well, whatever. See if you can guess all the fairy tales. Dickory Dock, Mouse Went Up the Clock, right? She's the Princess and the Frog. Cinderella, maybe. Or just any carriage. Little Red Riding Hood. I mean, Cinderella's probably down here. You got the pumpkin. Snow White with the apple, maybe. There's a dog and a cat, I think. I don't know what they're for. You got the mice for Cinderella. I don't know. Let me know if I'm missing one. There's something with a swan, right? Yeah. So, oh, Sleeping Beauty. That's what I was gonna say with this. She pokes her finger. Maybe? I don't know. Let me know if you can tell if I'm missing any. But I think it's really cute. I like fairy tales. Grew up watching Disney, so. That's it for the patterns, for the WIPs. I think I showed you everything. Did I miss something? I don't know. But that's my WIPGO. That is all the possible things I could possibly work on next year, except or until I buy new things. So there's that. I think I had said in my last episode, I'm going to try not to spend any money on stitching stuff. I do have one order from Fat Quarter Shop, just a couple things, and then the Etsy order. I needed that floss for Winter Rose Manor. I wanted to get the Stitchy Journal from Fat Quarter Shop to better record and make it easier when I'm doing this to tell you what fabric, what floss, and have notes and all of that in one place. So a few things coming in the mail, a couple fabrics, just so I have some more fabric in stash, and like one more pattern. And then that's going to be it for me to spend money on stitchy stuff until March. I just want to save my money and be, you know, I think January and February are the months, like just to get personal, I try to spend the least amount of money because I don't need new clothes. There's not much to buy in the winter. There's no reason to spend money. It's just a good couple of months to save. I'll get my bonus from work and stuff, so put that in savings and just be a little bit responsible. So that is the plan. And then in March there is it Needlework Market or Expo? I think it's Market, Nashville Market. So in March, and already people are releasing new patterns, but I think leading up to March, leading up to the market in Nashville, the very first weekend in March, I think, is when a lot of the designers will release their new patterns. So I'll wait till everyone kind of releases everything and that happens, and then I'll be a little bit judicious about what I buy. But since I didn't spend any in January or February, I can buy some patterns and not feel too guilty about it, and some other things. So you might see like wish list for me in the next few episodes instead of haul. I might show if people are coming out with new patterns that I'm interested in. Maybe show those off if you're interested. Let me know if you like seeing what I might buy or I'm thinking of buying, but I don't think it's bad to not have haul necessarily because, you know, it can be expensive, it can be cheap or expensive. Cross stitch can be whatever you make it, but you do get kind of FOMO of wanting all the patterns and wanting some of the patterns everyone else has, but you know, just being judicious about what we buy, and you can never stitch it all. You just saw the things I have. I can't stitch all of that next year, so there's no reason to go too crazy. But if you have the means to go crazy, you do that because it's fun. Shopping is fun when you're able to. So I think that's everything. Books. So okay, so we'll wrap up the stitching part. So that's everything. If you have any questions, if I missed anything, let me know. I'll try to put some stuff in the description, or at least timestamps. I hope you all have a wonderful, lovely stitching New Year's Eve. If you're going to be doing 12 by 12 or just have other stitchy plans for the last day of the year, let me know. I'd be interested in what you're doing and what your plans are. What are you doing in 2023? Do you have a WIPGO type board? Do you plan? Do you just stitch whatever you want, whenever you want? How many WIPs are you bringing into the new year? Just let me know all that's going on with you for that. And then I'll get into the book stuff. So if you're just here for the stitching, thanks so much for watching. Please like, please comment. And I can't wait to speak with you in another 2 weeks and get into possibly the SAL and all the things stitchy for 2023. So, and consider subscribing too before you head out. So thank you so much. And for those who are interested in books, most of my bookish content for the year, what I read, my favorite things, how I kind of keep record of my books, you can watch my Flosstube extra. It is live. I posted it earlier this week, so just head over to my profile and look for that. And then the only thing I have to share today is I'm gonna finish Less is Lost to make it my last book of the year, so I don't have it with me, but I'm still reading that one. Talked about it in a couple of my other videos. And then I did decide that True Biz is going to be my first read of 2023. So I will start reading this on New Year's Day. So that is my plan for that. So this one, since I haven't read it, I'm going to read you some of the description. And this is by Sarah Novick. And True Biz, the students at River Valley School for the Deaf just want to hook up, pass their history finals, and have politicians, doctors, and their parents stop telling them what to do. This revelatory novel plunges readers into the halls of a residential school for the deaf, where they'll meet Charlie, a rebellious transfer student who's never met another deaf person before, Austin, the school's golden boy, whose world is rocked when his baby sister is born hearing, and February, interesting name, the headmistress who is fighting to keep her school open and her marriage intact, but might not be able to do both. And there's more, I won't read the entire thing, and Sarah Novak is deaf. And so I don't think I can't say that I've read anything with, I can't say that I've never read anything with deaf characters, but certainly not a book that kind of centers that and has all deaf characters written by a deaf author. This came out last year, this year, it's not 2023 yet, came out in 2022, this year, and got a lot of praise. So I'm excited to read this one. A lot of people, I think, had this in their top 10, so I think it's a great book to start a new year with, start strong. So that's my read for 2023. Let me know what your 2023 reading plans are, or if you have a book you're going to start the year with. Any suggestions and recommendations are always welcome. So thank you so much. If you made it all the way to the end, put a red heart in your comment. I will be very impressed if you watch this whole thing, and thank you so much if you did. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking and commenting. I can't wait to head into 2023 with you all and to continue the stitching journey. So happy stitching and happy reading, everyone.